Hi everyone, it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food, and in today's episode I want to share with you one of my own original recipes and one of my personal favorite cake recipes. I've been making this cake roulade for about 8 years now for every holiday season, and it's always been a really great hit. It's a coffee sponge cake filled with a prune, rum, and orange juice filling topped with a Chantilly Creme frosting. And this is sure to be a hit during the holiday seasons, but you can also make it just for about any occasion. To start out, we're going to make our coffee sponge cake. For our sponge cake, we're going to need 6 large eggs, and I've brought them up to room temperature. We're going to need 1 cup white granulated sugar, 1 cup all-purpose flour, and we're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're also going to need 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, and I have my oven preheating at 350 degrees, and I've also lined a jelly roll pan with some parchment paper, and this is going to make it super easy for us to take out our sponge cake. I'm going to place my eggs into a large mixer bowl, and we're also going to add our sugar, and then we're going to whisk this mixture on high speed until the egg mixture is really light and fluffy, almost pale white in color. My egg mixture is all ready, and you can see how thick and pale it is. That's perfect. That's just the way we want it to be. Now we can start adding our flour. So for this step, I'm gonna use a fine mesh strainer, and we're gonna add our 1 cup flour and our 1 teaspoon baking powder. And we're gonna just gently sift that into our bowl. You wanna just do this in small portions, and we're gonna fold it all carefully into our eggs. Now I'm ready to add my instant coffee. We just wanna sprinkle it on top and then gently fold it in as well. Now we're ready to pour our cake batter into our prepared pan. So I have my pan here ready with my parchment paper. Just gonna gently pour it into the pan. And then I have my oven preheating at 350 degrees. We wanna bake this for about 12-16 minutes until the top is golden brown. I just took my sponge cake out of the oven and it looks great. We need to work fast and get it out of the pan. So I'm gonna run a knife along the edges of the pan just to loosen the sponge cake from the pan. And I have a clean towel here ready. I'm gonna invert it onto a cooling rack first. So you wanna be careful, don't burn yourself. And it should come right out of the pan. Perfect. That parchment paper is a really big help. We're going to remove the parchment paper. And you want to do this while it's hot so it doesn't set into the cake. Now we need to roll our cake into a clean towel. So I'm going to line my cake with a clean towel. We're going to turn it onto our work surface. And we're going to gently roll the cake roll into a roulade, and we need to let the cake layer set so it sets into a roll. Now that our cake layer is ready, we want to leave this at room temperature and let it cool all the way before we unroll it and finish our cake. Now that our sponge cake is cooling, we can start working on our filling. So for the filling, we're going to need 1 cup of orange juice, we're going to need 1/3 cup golden rum, and we're going to need 1/2 cup of strong coffee or espresso. We're also going to need 1.5 cups of chopped prunes, and these are organic prunes. They're not soaked in any sugar or syrup, and that's going to be perfect for our recipe because we don't want it to be too sweet. So I'm going to start chopping these, and then we're going to place everything into a saucepan. Once you're done chopping the prunes, we're going to transfer everything into a medium saucepan. To add these into our saucepan here. Then we're going to add our remaining ingredients. We're going to bring this to the stove top, and they're going to simmer over a medium heat for about 15 minutes. And you want the juices to reduce, and it's going to create a nice and thick mixture. So I'm going to add my coffee, my rum, and the orange juice. I've taken the filling off the stovetop and I let it cool just for a few minutes, and you can see how the mixture is reduced nicely and that fruit has really softened up. And now we can add it into our food processor. We're going to add it into our food processor, and we want to puree it until it's nice and smooth. If you don't have a food processor, you can also use a stick blender, or a regular blender will do the job just as well. want your filling mixture to look like when it's all done, and you see how nice and smooth it is. That's just the way we want it. I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna work on our next step. Now we're ready to prepare our Chantilly Creme frosting. So we're gonna need 2 cups of heavy cream, and we're gonna pour that into our mixer bowl. Then we're gonna add to that 1/3 cup white granulated sugar, and we're gonna add about a tablespoon of rum, brandy, or cognac. I have some golden rum left over from my filling recipe, so I'm gonna add that. And we're gonna whisk this on high speeds until our cream is light and fluffy. My Chantilly Creme frosting is ready, and now we can prepare our cake. So I'm gonna set this aside for just a second, and we're gonna unroll our sponge cake. Just wanna gently unroll it onto your work surface. We're gonna first spread it with our prune filling. So just spread it evenly across the cake surface. You wanna make sure that it gets to all the ends and edges. Next, we're gonna spread a generous amount of our Chantilly cream in the center. And we're gonna spread this evenly across as well. Now we're ready to shape our roulade. So I'm gonna twist my cake layer over, and we're gonna gently roll from one end. You wanna make sure that you don't squish the filling out of the edges. Just wanna very, very gently roll it in together. Now I'm gonna use my remaining Chantilly cream, and we're gonna frost the outside of our cake roulade. Just wanna spread a generous amount on the top and on the sides. Just want to spread your Chantilly cream evenly across the cake on the outside. And I'm going to place this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes just so the outside can set, and then we're going to add some extra garnishes. I'm going to add some chocolate glaze on top, and then a few chopped almonds, and then we're ready to serve. We can even add some sliced strawberries. And now to garnish my cake, I've melted some dark chocolate and I've placed it into a disposable pastry bag. I'm just going to create drizzles across the top of my cake. And this is a really easy and elegant decorating technique that you can use for any cake. Drizzle all the way across. And after this, you can clean up the sides of the cake platter with a paper towel. I'm also going to add some slivered almonds along the top of my cake, and this is an optional decorating technique. You don't have to do this, but I think it adds just another extra flair to your cake. My cake is all done now, and I love how beautiful and elegant it came out. I'm gonna set it back into the refrigerator for another 4 to 5 hours or overnight, just so that cream and filling can really set and make a really moist and delicious cake. I'm actually gonna enjoy a slice right now. I can't wait until tomorrow, so. This is a heavenly cake. That prune filling really complements the coffee sponge cake, and that Chantilly cream is one of my favorite frostings. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get updates when I post more videos like this one.